Imagine waking up one day to find the diner of your childhood gone. Not remodeled, gone for good. America's most iconic fast food chains are collapsing. Skyrocketing prices, outdated menus, and customers who never return. What was once the heartbeat of the middle class is now fading quietly. In this video, you'll discover the 15 legendary brands that could vanish in 2025, and at the end, the most tragic case of all, a chain that went from 1,000 locations to the brink of extinction. This isn't fast food, it's a countdown. 1. McDonald's. The wounded colossus. Its golden arches still loom over highways, but each neon glow flickers with fatigue. According to Technomic, same-store sales dropped 3.6%, and 500 locations closed since 2023. The average combo now exceeds $14, eroding the promise of affordable abundance and driving away low-income customers. The cracks are wide: persistent inflation, cold automation, and a declining perception of quality. Gallup studies show customer satisfaction at a decade low, while Gen Z and Alpha surveys demand flexible menus and plant-based options. Meanwhile, Chick-fil-A and Shake Shack steal the spotlight with transparent sourcing, sustainable packaging, and wait times rarely exceeding 120 seconds. The impact goes beyond numbers. Entry-level jobs vanish, memories of birthdays under red plastic roofs dissolve, and the scent that defined afternoons fades. Sociologists at Ohio University warn that store closures heighten urban desolation, where fast food was a last bastion of community. To fight the tide, McDonald's launched a $5 menu and tested robotic kitchens. But J.P. Morgan analysts caution that these moves may be cosmetic unless the brand redefines its emotional narrative, trapped in an image of cheap, unhealthy food. If these strategies fail, a retreat from working-class neighborhoods by 2026 is possible. More than a company will fall, a symbol of middle-class routine will evaporate. When the last fry sizzles, a silence heavy with echoes will remain, reminding us that even giants fade when they stop listening to the street's pulse. 2. Burger King, the crownless prince. Its signs still stand along highways, but the neon flickers wearily. Technomic reports a 4% drop in traffic, with 400 closures projected. A Whopper combo hovers around $12, undermining the promise of affordable abundance and fueling low-income customer desertion. The cracks are broad: uninspired menus, aging stores, and forgettable campaigns. Gallup notes customer satisfaction at a decade low, while Gen Z and Alpha seek flexible, plant-based options. Meanwhile, revamped Wendy's and gourmet burger chains gain traction with transparent sourcing, sustainable packaging, and wait times under 120 seconds. The effects ripple beyond data. Teen jobs disappear, memories of birthdays under red plastic roofs fade, and the aroma of afternoons vanishes. Ohio University sociologists warn that closures deepen urban despair where fast food was a community anchor. Burger King's Reclaim the Flame plan invests in remodels and carbon-neutral grills, but J.P. Morgan analysts say these may be superficial without a refreshed emotional narrative, stuck in a cheap, unhealthy image. If these efforts falter, rival franchisees could absorb the chain. More than a business will collapse, a middle-class ritual will vanish. When the last fry crackles, a heavy silence will linger, a reminder that giants fall when they ignore the street's rhythm. 3. Subway. A tunnel with no exit. Its green signs still dot highways, but the neon hums tiredly. Technomic reports over 4,000 store closures in the past decade, with same-store sales down another 2% in 2024. A 6-inch sub nears $10, eroding affordable abundance and pushing away low-income patrons. The cracks are deep: scandals over ultra-processed bread, canned vegetables, and an impersonal vibe. Gallup shows customer satisfaction at a decade low, while Gen Z and Alpha crave customizable plant-based menus. Jersey Mike's and Potbelly draw crowds with transparent ingredients, eco-friendly packaging, and wait times under 120 seconds. The toll transcends numbers. Youth jobs vanish, memories of lunches under green plastic roofs dissolve, and the scent of afternoons fades. Ohio University sociologists note that closures amplify urban isolation where fast food was a social hub. Subway introduced artisanal bread and digital kiosks, promising custom sauces, but J.P. Morgan warns these may be superficial without redefining its cheap, unhealthy image. If these fail, Subway could shrink to airports and gas stations. A middle-class symbol will fade. When the last sandwich is wrapped, a silence will echo, reminding us giants crumble when they lose touch with the street. 4. Pizza Hut nostalgia at a fiery price. Its red roof signs still line highways, but the neon flickers faintly. Technomic reports 1,500 dine-in locations closed, with sales down 14%. A medium pizza tops $17 before tax, eroding affordable abundance and alienating low-income families. The cracks are wide. A muddled hybrid model, stagnant menus, and Domino's digital dominance. Gallup notes customer satisfaction at a decade low, while Gen Z and Alpha seek flexible, plant-based options. Domino's, Little Caesars, and Blaze Pizza shine with transparent sourcing, sustainable packaging, and wait times under 120 seconds. The cultural loss is stark. Teen jobs disappear, memories of birthdays under red-tiled roofs fade, and the pizza scent of evenings vanishes. Ohio University sociologists warn that closures deepen urban disconnection where fast food was a gathering place. Pizza Hut tests express formats and conveyor ovens in delivery trucks, but J.P. Morgan analysts say these may be cosmetic without a new emotional narrative tied to cheap, unhealthy food. If these fail, Pizza Hut could be relegated to supermarket frozen aisles. A middle-class icon will dissolve. When the last slice is served, a heavy silence will linger, a reminder that giants fade when they ignore the street's pulse. 5. Wendy's. The oval that stopped smiling. Its signs still glow on highways, but the neon dims with exhaustion. Technomic reports a 2.1% drop in same-store sales, with 200 closures planned. A Baconator combo exceeds $12, undermining affordable abundance and driving away low-income customers. The cracks are clear: an outdated image, unpopular dynamic pricing, and declining fresh beef quality. Gallup shows customer satisfaction at a decade low, while Gen Z and Alpha demand customizable plant-based menus. Five Guys and Shake Shack thrive with transparent sourcing, eco-friendly packaging, and wait times under 120 seconds. The impact runs deep. Youth jobs vanish, memories of snacks under brown-tiled roofs fade, and the burger scent of afternoons dissolves. Ohio University sociologists note that closures heighten urban desolation where fast food was a social hub. Wendy's introduced smart screens adjusting prices by demand and new chicken wraps, but J.P. Morgan warns these may be superficial without redefining its cheap, unhealthy image. If these falter, rural franchisees could shift to premium chicken brands. A middle-class symbol will vanish. When the last fry pops, a silence will echo, reminding us giants fall when they lose the street's rhythm. 6. KFC chicken without Sundays. Its signs still stand along highways, but the neon flickers wearily. Technomic reports a 4% drop in domestic sales, with a major franchisee closing 25 units. A family bucket nears $30, eroding affordable abundance and alienating low-income patrons. The cracks are broad. Repetitive menus and fierce competition from Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, and Wingstop. Gallup notes customer satisfaction at a decade low, while Gen Z and Alpha seek flexible, plant-based options. Chick-fil-A and Wingstop excel with transparent sourcing, sustainable packaging, and wait times under 120 seconds. The cultural toll is heavy. Teen jobs disappear. Memories of Sunday dinners under white roofs fade, and the fried chicken scent vanishes. Ohio University sociologists warn that closures deepen urban isolation, where fast food was a community anchor. KFC launched reformulated nuggets and AI-driven drive-thrus, but J.P. Morgan analysts say these may be cosmetic without a new emotional narrative, stuck in a cheap, unhealthy image. If these fail, KFC could become primarily international. A middle-class ritual will fade. When the last piece fries, a silence will linger, reminding us giants crumble when they ignore the street's pulse. 7. Dairy Queen's summers that melt away. Across rural America, Dairy Queen's red gable once signaled summer's start, but its shine is now a fading mirage. Technomic shows a 3% national sales contraction, with 37 Texas franchises closing after a split with Lone Star. A medium blizzard exceeds $7, deterring families seeking cheap post-game treats. The wounds are many: the rise of plant-based ice cream, dairy inflation, and a menu stuck in the 90s. While Starbucks blends oat frappuccinos and Jenny's posts pastel TikToks, Dairy Queen clings to heavy cream and dated signs. Morning consult surveys show only 4 in 10 Gen Z find the brand exciting. Classic white block stores face rising energy costs and lack space for double drive-thrus. Nation's Restaurant News reports 42% of units operate below 5% margins. Some franchisees tried frozen yogurt, but corporate hesitation stalled the project. The cultural impact is profound. Without chocolate-dipped cones, communities lose a summer ritual. Iowa school boards cite local closures as signs of agricultural decline. Kansas University sociologists warn small towns will see less intergenerational bonding. Grandparents lose their banana split excuse, and teens their first counter jobs. To avoid corporate sunburn, Dairy Queen launched the Under the Rainbow line with coconut flavors and inclusive marketing, plus portable solar kiosks for festivals. But J.P. Morgan doubts the pace of change, noting consumers link premium ice cream to artisanal experiences and eco-packaging. If reinvention fails, Dairy Queen's shadow will outlast its buildings. When the last machine shuts off, the hum of vacations and local pride will die. Crickets will chirp where spoons once clinked, reminding us summer can perish too. 8. Jack in the Box. The laugh that fades. In California's pre-dawn, Jack in the Box's clown head no longer sparks chuckles, just a tired grimace signaling tough times. Placard AI reports a 4.4% traffic drop and 12 net closures last fiscal year. Sales per unit decline as $11 combos lose appeal against rivals flaunting fresh meat. Internal cracks range from erratic marketing to operational inconsistency. The menu spans fried tacos to breakfast croissants, complicating inventory and lengthening waits. New consumers punish this lack of focus. Civic Science shows only 35% of Gen Z recognize the brand, and less than half call it authentic. While In-N-Out boasts open kitchens and Whataburger touts Texas roots, Jack leans on snacks fried in shared oil. The lingering smell no longer entices. Old beige-walled stores with burnt-out signs need costly remodels that franchisees dodge. UBS notes 70% of pre-2010 locations lack double drive-thrus, essential for competition. Sensormatic reports 57% of customers ditch lines if screens show over 6-minute waits, breaking the 80s promise of speed when late-night radio turned drive-thrus into rolling confessionals. The cultural loss is deep. In western suburbs, late-night taco boxes were a post-concert friendship rite. Their absence empties that bridge between party and home. UCLA urban anthropologists warn youths now scatter to liquor stores offering sealed food and zero human interaction. Jack counters with the Jack on Track plan, a streamlined menu, kiosks, and a ghost kitchen pilot with Del Taco. Still, Fitch holds a negative outlook due to acquisition debt. Delivery apps show order abandonment when waits exceed 25 minutes, unfixable by aggressive coupons. If the clown's laugh dies, a fleeting nostalgia will remain. Where engines roared and midnight jokes echoed, only a dim logo's reflection will linger. In that metallic silence, empty highways will whisper that canned humor has an expiration date. 9. Popeyes. From viral boom to yawn. In 2019, Popeyes' chicken sandwich gridlocked streets, but the fever faded, leaving half-empty dining rooms. Black Box Intelligence reports a 4% drop in same-store sales and an 18-point loyalty plunge since the pandemic peak. Combos top $10 with long wait times persisting. The cracks: over-reliance on one product, strained logistics, and high staff turnover. While Chick-fil-A times every second and Wingstop drops monthly flavors, Popeyes banks on Cajun spices and nostalgic marketing. QSR magazine notes 41% of customers cite inconsistent experiences across locations. The initial frenzy spiked demand 200%, forcing bun suppliers into overtime. Now those bakeries report overstock and cut hours, reflecting a brutal commercial roller coaster. Kitchens built for mass frying buckle under digital order surges. Peak hour tickets take 26 minutes, double the standard. The app lacks instant rewards, a Gen Z deal-breaker. Deloitte finds 7 in 10 youths ditch brands without customizable spice levels. Rivals like Raising Cane's keep menus short, and Dave's Hot Chicken turns waits into a show. Popeyes recycles Deep South tales with waxy tablecloths, but beige tiles evoke another era. The cultural sting is real. In coastal cities, the orange box symbolized accessible culinary diversity. Its decline mirrors broader cost-of-living spikes. New Orleans students mourn losing a flavor-tying campus to Creole roots. Tulane historians fear closures erase a sensory bridge to the African diaspora. Popeyes approved modular kitchens and flash marination, partnering with TikTok creators. But Moody's holds a limited outlook, citing a 30% oil price hike in 2 years, with each price point shaving $4 million from margins. Without a second viral hit, Popeyes risks becoming a social media relic. When the monitor showing the giant sandwich goes dark, a ghostly pepper scent will linger under locked doors. Passers-by will hurry past, unaware that phones once glowed like digital torches chasing the perfect bite. 10. Boston Market. The evicted home. Once, Boston Market promised home-style dinners without ovens or dirty dishes. Now, its red logo peels like old paint. From over 1,100 locations in the 90s, fewer than 30 remain, with eviction orders in multiple states over unpaid wages. Technomic reports a 97% national footprint drop. Causes pile up: ownership changes, costly operations, and supermarket rotisserie chickens at $5. Online ordering flopped, and the app lags. Only 15% of orders are digital versus 80% for modern chains. Restaurant business notes a 23% ticket price hike since 2022, alienating working-class patrons. Remaining stores sport torn booths and warm bulbs turned dim. Employees report late supply deliveries, forcing side dish cuts. A New Jersey court filing details missing kitchen gloves. Once a comfort food pioneer, Boston Market is now a textbook crisis case. Paychex reports 2 delayed payrolls for 1,000 workers in 2024, tanking morale and sparking quits. Nearly half of Northeast shifts went unstaffed, forcing closures with food still plated. Culturally, its collapse erases a family ritual, grabbing chicken, mash, and cornbread on the way home. Rutgers researchers say Boston Market offered working moms a breather during 90s suburban sprawl. Its loss widens the gap between free time and nutritious meals. The chain clings to non-traditional franchises in gas stations and abbreviated menus, plus virtual tables for weekly dinner subscriptions via third-party delivery. But Moody's downgraded it to CAA, citing $5 million in labor lawsuits and unpaid rent disputes. If the last oven goes cold, more than a restaurant will vanish. An echo of checkered tablecloths will remain. 11. Taco Bell bells without a chime. For decades, Taco Bell's purple jingle was the soundtrack of late-night college runs. Now its bells ring hollow. Placer.ai reports a 5% drop in urban visits, with late-night traffic declining quarterly. Customers see the Crunch Wrap as a tired meme, and the brand stumbles trying to please everyone. While Chipotle flaunts traceability and food trucks serve authentic birria, Taco Bell dresses the same tortilla in neon sauce and clever names. Structural cracks show at every counter, imported protein costs, labor shortages, and 80s architecture lacking double drive-through lanes. Combos exceed $10 post-tax, unsustainable for its base. Deloitte finds 57% of Gen Z prefer restaurants with visible kitchens and adjustable spice. Taco Bell offers sealed bags hiding dehydrated meat cubes. The Taco Lovers Pass drew headlines but doubled service times. A leaked Business Insider analysis shows 43% of pass users bought no add-ons, draining margins. Futuristic kiosks followed, but their sub-menus rival video game complexity. Many quit before payment. Culturally, the chain faces an identity crisis. Once rebellious and accessible, it now feels like corporate parody. Berkeley sociologists note Tex-Mex is shifting to regional authenticity, while Taco Bell peddles lab-born quesaritos, detached from Latino narratives and gringo nostalgia. The teen haven of freedom becomes a symbol of disconnect. To survive, Taco Bell pushes Skybell closed kitchens, pneumatic tube delivery, and beyond carne asada plant-based options. But Credit Suisse analysts warn that tech experiments without flavor reform merely delay the issue. When novelty fades, palates demand more than recycled nacho stacks. If the bell falls silent, a nocturnal ritual will die. Purple lights will no longer trace triangles on fogged windshields, and highways will lack refuges for sleepless drivers. A future archaeologist might find expired fire sauce packets and wonder why a generation settled for waxed paper over fresh corn masa. That memory, crisp as an old taco, could be the last crumb of an empire built on flour tortillas. When the metal chime's echo fades, we'll realize the night has a new flavor, from fluorescent cheese dust to the slow char of a street truck. 12. Checkers rallies engines. Idling. In the 90s, Checkers' roar of engines and smoky oil defined the experience. Dual lanes wrapped a chrome steel box, and food appeared at tiny windows like a mechanical miracle. Today, that system sputters. Nation's Restaurant News estimates the chain shrank to 820 units, 25% below its peak. Without a robust app and with signs creaking in the wind, the brand stalls on the digital highway. Breakdowns are mechanical and strategic. QSR reports 60% of modern customers want contactless orders, but Checkers' design lacks space for lockers or pickup zones. While Cookout and Sonic install QR totems, Checkers clings to static-prone analog headsets. Repair costs soar. Each overworked fryer needs parts no longer made by its German supplier. The menu doesn't help. Burgers slathered in aerosol cheese clash with a low-fat era. Bloomberg notes a 9% annual rise in demand for under 600-calorie options, but Checkers touts 1,500-calorie shakes in gravelly ads. Gen Z memes pair giant fry boxes with heart-warning emojis. Culturally, Checkers' fade hits working-class Southern and Midwest neighborhoods. For delivery truckers, it was the only window serving without leaving the seat. University of Alabama studies tie its decline to reduced community cohesion. The double drive-through was a rolling forum for casual, neighborly chats. Checkers tries reconnecting with modular kitchens and drones dropping bags at passenger windows, but Fitch highlights debt from hedge fund buyouts. Every tech dollar vanishes into interest payments. The asphalt king can't start because the tank leaks. If the last speaker goes quiet, and primal sound will vanish. The metallic snap of a fry basket lid. A graffitied steel cube will remain, evidence of an era when speed was a gimmick and cholesterol a casual trophy. When the neon sign stays dark, passers-by will feel an inexplicable void, as if the road's music lost a beat. The highway will march on with plant protein concepts and perfect algorithms, but the absence of that chrome box will remind us a window and a running engine once made you part of a collective dance. Progress doesn't always speed up. Sometimes it leaves cars stranded on a lane no one yet knows how to navigate. 13. Hardee's dust on the plains. In towns where the horizon breaks only with grain silos and radio towers, Hardee's orange sign was a morning beacon. Truckers, farmers, and retirees met before dawn, clutching black coffee and scarfing sausage biscuits. Now, many shutters stay down. After its largest franchisee's bankruptcy, 39 restaurants closed across 8 states, a quake that shook supplier and worker trust. The decline stems from a mosaic of missteps. The Carl's Jr. merger muddled branding, with redundant menus and ads touting California vibes in the Bible Belt. Traditional customers didn't vibe with spicy burgers or bikini-clad surfers, seeing an insult to local simplicity. Meanwhile, Bojangles and Whataburger doubled down on regional roots, winning loyalty with porch kitchen flavors. Physical stores show neglect. 80s clean brick facades now crack, and many backlit signs half-work. Cushman & Wakefield estimates a $1 million per store renovation cost, unaffordable for rural franchisees with shrinking margins. Breakfast, once king, lost ground when gas stations offered free coffee with fuel and McDonald's added all-day chicken biscuits. Culturally, Hardee's extinction is the tale of a farming community losing another meeting point. University of Missouri sociologists document that post-closure tractor clubs and 4-H groups lack casual social spaces, deepening loneliness among older workers. The order-ready bell was a communal pulse. Its silence weakens the beat. Hardee's responds with smaller prototypes, regional menus, and roasted chicken promises. But Fitch warns of high financial risk, with interest eating every extra dollar. Even a hit sandwich would struggle to scale across a sprawling, uneven supply chain. Digital marketing barely reaches broadband, scarce areas where the brand was iconic. If the last Hardee's griddle cools, dawn will miss its bacon scent. Back roads will see an empty shack, grass sprouting through asphalt cracks, and a faded sign reading, "We're cooking something new," while nothing cooks. Rural belt residents may realize no aroma lasts forever. Biscuits cool, conversations hush, and road dust buries memories that seemed unbreakable. The breakfast echo will fade, and a tractor will greet dawn over an empty lot.